exemption is a very narrow one, meaning that a church is covered, but a religious entity is not. I know that the gospel teaches those of us who are Christian that we are supposed to serve everybody. We don't ask questions about people's faith, what denomination, if any, that they belong to. But Bishop Laurie, I want to ask you, given how this works, say there's a soup kitchen that is run in a parish hall in the basement of the church. The church has an exemption, but say people come on in, does the nun who runs the soup kitchen have to ask the people, are you Catholic, rather than are you hungry, before serving the food? Otherwise, the exemption would be lost.
Well, look, I think the way this very, very narrow definition, this four-part test of what it means to be religious, opens us up to all kinds of challenges, because it's not just Catholic charities or hospitals that serve the general public, but indeed all of our parishes are open to serving the needs of the community. And it could not possibly serve the common good for there to be a chilling effect on religious entities from serving the general public, the common good, the neediest among us, for fear that we would lose our exemption and therefore be forced to violate our consciences. It shouldn't work that way.
Now, it has been referred to by several of the witnesses about self-insured religious entities. And if the sponsoring denomination of the religious entity has a doctrinal bar to doing something, whether it's in the healthcare field or something like that, using the healthcare law, so you can't pay for it directly, but you will end up having to pay for it indirectly by shutting down your self-insured plan and by buying into the exchanges. Number one, isn't it just as wrong to do it indirectly as it is directly? And secondly, what's the cost involved by going from a self-insured entity to going into the exchanges? It's got to be steep.
Sure. First of all, I do not think that it passes the moral test just to say that the insurer does it, even if you're not self-insured. As one commentator said, he said it's like when you're in college and you pay the older kid to get your beer for you. It doesn't really pass the moral test. And secondly, we are self-insured for a good reason. We are self-insured because we can afford it. It's the way we are able to provide high-quality health care plans for our employees. And if we are forced to buy a fully insured plan or go out into the exchanges, I think it would be, for most places, prohibitive. Like everybody else, this is, of course, a big challenge for us economically. Let me also say, with the grandfathered plans that we're talking about, even those put us in a straitjacket, because if we vary our plans a little too much either way, we lose out on being grandfathered, if I could put it in a kind of a non-technical way. So what's happening is we're really being put in a straitjacket here, not only morally but also economically.